Maji, permit me the honors to give the Arsenal chant. Ole, 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 ola. Ole, 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 ola. Kai Havertz out. Merino
Merino's
in.
yeah.
Ole, 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 ola.
Oh
Bro,
my God.
what
Ah,
what a game. Like, the excitement that we're exuding at this point in time really wasn't the excitement we're experiencing for a majority of that game that was played.
to be honest, I was already saying that, man, I might just have to start watching hockey for the rest of the season because like there's no more excitement that we can see from the team. It's sad. It's
I
problem day. Oh.
spent
Problem day.
I I spent 70 minutes of that game arranging the house while I was watching the TV. At some point, I was just depending on commentary because we had nothing going
It
for
was
us in
annoying.
attack.
Nothing.
See,
Nothing. Small. There's
one
a
of the
lot
parts
of
of that game we shouldn't even talk about is the first half, but I dare we actually get to talk about it a little bit because
yeah, we have to.
it actually elaborated all of the fears that we had before coming into this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our assumed starting lineup materialized where we have Sterling going down the left, we had Trossard in the middle, and Ethan. Now, out of those three, I didn't have a problem with Ethan. Like, that's how much of a baller he is that
He
we are
was the man of the
confident that
match.
he will deliver. Yeah, he was
Easy. Easy.
miles out out of the league of the other guys, which is a shame, right? Especially for someone like Sterling. Honestly, I've gone beyond the point of being upset about a player like Sterling because whose fault is it really that he's playing in the club? It's the club itself.
Yeah.
He has no business wearing red for Arsenal.
Not even now. Not now.
And it baffles me because in as much as we have the illusion that Arsenal, they are trying to make the deft signing. We're trying to
Mm-hmm.
get all of the T's crossed and the I's dotted to make sure we
Mm-hmm.
bring in the right player.
Mm-hmm.
What then happened with Sterling?
So I think
How was that a good option
it
in the
was a
summer?
it was a fallback. It was a fallback option in terms of it was not the original plan. It was not what um Arteta really wanted. And Sterling is not an Arteta signing. Even if he's a loan, it was like he was he was forced down his throat. Because if you look at it, there's no there's no way we are playing that suits Sterling's way of playing, even when he's in his prime.
Mm.
What I'm trying to say is that our wingers, our system does not make our wingers play the way we want, like the way we expect Sterling to fit in. So that makes me just feel like really, Arteta didn't want Sterling. So it's going to boil back to this, like, and we've spoken about it. The situation we are right now is not because of injuries. It's because of the poor squad management that
Yeah.
the club has put in, not just in January, not just in the summer, for the last two summers. The way you set up the player and the team, this team is trying. Look at the tactical shift that we've had to put in
Yeah.
this
Absolutely.
season. We've lost Saliba, we've lost Merino, we've lost Rice, we've lost Odegaard, we've lost
Calafiori.
Saka, we've lost Calafiori, we've lost Kai, and we've had to adjust in all of those situations to still be where we are today. And
But that
yet,
that that goes to show how much of the resource we have in terms of technical ability as
yes.
management is concerned
So
to deal with what we have.
you have to just give him everything. Do you think that Pep is not a tactical genius to make all those shifts? Yes, he might be having a terrible season right now, but he's still competing. He's still
Absolutely. It's
he's
still top
still
four.
regardless of what has happened in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you are seeing that he is being backed with the resources to go ahead and do all those tactical shifts that we know him of. And that is what Arteta is doing right now. This guy has really tried with what we have. Me and you know that the team is not half near where we want the team to be or where we
Yeah.
expect the team to be. But look at us. we are yet in a title run, so to say, with what we've suffered this year. Come on, these guys need backing. I'm telling you, like, if the owners are really on the same page with the coaches, with the players, with the 11 on the pitch, you should be throwing, like, you should be giving them like tanks. You should be giving them like no excuse. Money is not the problem. So what is the problem? There's always this saying that says that if you fail to prepare, I mean, if you fail
Preparing to fail.
to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So it's almost as if the last two summers, or last summer and January, prepared us for this situation that we are, and we have nobody else to blame but the top managers of the club.
Yeah, but that being said, all credit to Arteta, because in the midst of all of the chaos, right, it has proved to be a challenge that is unveiling how much of a capable manager he is, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have lost trust, but honestly, if you look at on the grand scheme of things, if you compare the top three clubs, that's, let me even put Liverpool, City, and Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the loss that we've had to deal with, just like you rightly said. Like, none of these other clubs would be where
None.
we are if they've
None
dealt
of
with, like,
them.
imagine a Liverpool
Without
losing
Salah,
a,
Van Dijk,
a no Salah, no Van Dijk, no Gravenberch, no
no
McAllister,
McAllister.
no
Come on.
Diaz, no. So, like, everything has worked well for them. Hence, I think they are where they are as a result of some good fortune,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
However, in as much as we've complained of bad fortune, we cannot excuse the fact that we've also been badly run
Yeah, we
as a
failed to
club
prepare.
as far as recruitment is concerned.
Yes.
But let's now focus on that first half. What was really going on from our midfield to the attack? Like, we don't have anything against what was happening in defense. For sure, we have been over consolidated in defense.
You are
Now,
good.
that midfield is also, I would say, is 75% there, if you ask me. Any day, any time.
So in the first half, our midfield is our best midfield. So I think that the problem was the link between the midfield and the attack,
Yeah.
which most of the time is Odegaard and or the attackers receiving the balls. Do you know how many balls that our attackers received from the midfield that Sterling was cut offside? Or your
On several
touches
occasions, like
on
between the first minute to the 60th minute, Sterling was
several.
caught.
So you cannot tell me that the midfield did not do his job by giving you the ball on transition, but you are offside. So I'm not trying to say that the midfield was like perfect, but I think what really made the midfield's work look below par was the attack.
Was the
The
attack.
attack was
Yeah,
bland.
even that opportunity that Trossard had, where Odegaard scooped it
Where he
ball,
fluffed it, yeah.
yeah, and he actually just fluffed. Like,
He
he
fluffed
actually.
it. He fluffed. That could have been an
So
assist.
I'm like, okay,
Uh-uh.
this is basically on the attack, and
Yeah.
the only shining light we saw throughout the game is just on Ethan. And I have so many wonderful things to say about that boy,
This
but
guy scares me. He scares me.
he's so good. But what actually interests me so much about this young man is how much of a professional he is at this age.
He wants the ball. He's doing the right things.
Every decision he's making when he gets the ball,
There's sense behind it.
solid. Solid.
So you see when the Leicester defender kept showing him to his right that he didn't want him to cut into his leg because we all know what Ethan can do with his right.
And he actually ran down that.
And he made the move. Like, okay, you are blocking this. Okay, I'm going to do this. And immediately he started scaring the guy with his right foot. The guy started backing off from him. Then Ethan had the chance with his left foot to put in the crosses. So you can see that if one is not working, okay, I'll show you I have another one. Then by the time you're not scared of the second one, I'm back to the original. I'm telling you,
without a doubt, I see them doubling up on Ethan very soon. Like, they will start doubling up on him.
They already doubled up on him. Newcastle doubled up on him. Leicester doubled up on him. So he's now showing like, if you're doubling up on me on my left foot, okay,
I'll show you
I will
my
go
right.
to my right. And
Yeah.
there's nothing he can do by that because he has a solid. He's solid. I'm telling you, like, man. Obviously, these are like blessings in disguise, but we have been banking on who do we bring in to give Saka a rest because
Yeah.
it is lack of rest that puts Saka in this position.
No, the majority of the players we have out is as a result of poor management, like
Simple.
poor in-game management of their time.
Load management was poor because of squad depth. Squad depth was poor because of
Because of recruitment.
recruitment. Recruitment was poor because of management.
Yeah.
So you just see everything like the injuries that we are seeing right now. Saka is exhausted. We know this guy gets kicked like 8, 10 times every game. But yet we cannot afford to play a game
You
without
leave the
Saka.
manager no choice. You leave the manager no choice because he's his best player. He has to play him
Cannot
every
afford.
game.
He has to play him. Kai, see, bro, we have been abusing Kai. Arsenal fans have been abusing Kai. They've been like, oh, we need a striker, we need a striker, we need a striker. Tell me you wouldn't have jumped at the opportunity of having Kai in the game today.
Of course, of course.
Do you understand?
It was a gaping hole,
It was
right?
obvious. That was why when
And
the Merino sub came, it was like a no-brainer, like obviously.
before the game even, like, if my prediction was that if anybody was going to come in attack that wasn't Sterling, it has to be a Merino,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
Because
even know. I don't even know now. I don't even know if he should start or
no, it goes without saying. I see, if there's anything this game has shown us, is that Sterling doesn't deserve to start any
Sterling
game
needs to
again this
get
season.
out.
No,
He needs to.
because you have only 3 attackers. Okay, it begs for you to start. Now you start and see what an abysmal
Flop.
performance he had.
Flop.
See the guy that came in as an attacker. Did you see his positioning? Did you
It,
see his hold up play?
this thing is easy. Just stay in line. Stay in between the defenders and
How
stay
can
in
a
the gaps.
midfielder have a better positioning for offside traps than an attacker with such magnitude of
Experience.
experience? No, no, no. See, as a typical African man, and if you see what has happened to Sterling, you would advise him to go and go and wash his head, go
Call
and
of
pray,
worry. Yeah. Call of
because
worry.
you can't go from that level to this level.
I was also saying it on
How
one on
old?
one on one group chat. I was like, he might need to see a psychologist because
He needs some
because this
help
is
because
not
it's not
normal
normal.
for you to just like get this bad. You're even tripping over yourself. You cannot even if you're 100 years old and you're an attacker with that experience, you know when to be offside and onside. How can you be caught standing offside when they want to pass the ball to you?
He can't even whip in a cross.
Ah,
He can't even whip in a cross. What are you
wala
now doing?
deal. Problem day.
No, no, it's a huge one. But I'm going to give credit again, like I said, to Arteta. The in-game management today was 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bringing Calafiori in to take off Miles. Miles had a
Miles was
wonderful
solid.
game.
Miles saved us.
A clutch moment, a very
Miles
clutch moment that could have seen us go a goal down.
and we could have lost it.
Yeah, yeah. That point in time, it seemed like one of those games, like those games that we typically have that you hold all the ball and they hit you up, we concede. Then
Yeah.
we're not trying to scratch and scrape
Before the
back
goal,
into the game.
we only had one shot on target, even though we had like 7 or 8 attempts. So it was like looking like we might not be able to score. But just like you said, like Ateta's in-game management, there was a time even he switched up how we built from the back with the ball, right? Instead
Yeah.
of like going to the flanks, like the Miles Lewis Kelly and Timber started entering like centrally. Then that was how we started off. Then after some time, he changed it to like them staying wide and the wingers coming in. Then we started seeing like Sterling play 10 or Trossard play 10. Like they were just like
Yeah.
coming in and it was just especially on the left side because the right side looked dangerous. We just needed something to match up on that side. And that was why when Trossard went to that left, when after Sterling left, it was
Yeah.
balanced. It was like, okay, we could put in
And
crosses from that
and
side.
if you
We could
notice,
put in crosses from that side.
another major thing that changed up in the second half, that actually, brought the performance of Odegaard back up was him now going across from right
Yes,
to the left, which is what you mentioned before. That why is he not doing that?
I'm telling you, you are the creative. You've been given the creative key to this team, and you are playing cautious football on one side. Ask for the ball, drive with the ball. Like take players on and drive with the ball. Like draw attention to yourself, then drop the true passes that we know that you can drop to all those your runners. It's so
Which which
obvious.
which is weird to say, but this is the first time I'm seeing this guy actually drive with the ball. That's Odegaard. Odegaard drove with the ball, and I'm like, it made a
What is
big
this game?
difference, and it opened up the whole game. Now I'm now looking at our team like we don't have that player that actually drives attacking wise with the ball, like a Morgan Rogers that will pick up the ball and start
And
moving
go.
at goal. So now, one of the things that have been exposed in this game
Ah,
now
God.
is, moving forward, we have someone to rely on in terms of attack. Merino, whether you like it or not.
But
That song I
but
sang in the beginning, yes,
but
it is it.
but but this is my fear.
Harvard is out, Merino is in.
But this is
We
my
don't have
fear.
any other option.
This is my fear. It now makes us a cross and nod team. When
Where do you think we are in? Do you think we are in that
no
place where we play the best of our game?
no in
You
no
need to
so
scrape
so what I'm
every
saying is
game
that
to the end.
so the fear is that it's only in one area that you can bank on that okay he can put in the crosses, but defenders would not only defend against crosses because they know that he can do something else.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's like, yeah, we can cross, but if they defend your crosses, can you do something else? Like, I agree with you. Like, so far, Merino, not because he has scored 2 goals, that he's our only option, but because physically, how we
Yes.
play,
Yes.
we don't need a small 5'5" has been winger in the front. I'm telling you, I'm jokes aside, a Diego Costa.
No, we actually need that
A
physicality
Diego Costa will do a
center.
good job for us. Did you see another thing that this Merino's cameo also showed for us is that, bro, any striker that knows how to play center forward, that knows how to be in the right positions to put your leg and you can finish, would
Yeah.
score goals for us now. You would score goals. You don't need
And
to
that's
be
what
a
that's why we're trying to bring in a Sesko now.
you will score goals because they will give the opportunity would come up.
Yeah.
So we have never suffered from like we don't have the ball. You would have the ball. It's what we do with the ball that has been our
That
bane.
now matters, yes.
Nah. Look at
So
because
but
if you see Merino's second goal, immediately the ball started going to the left. He went far post.
yeah.
And when that defender was Okoli or something, when he was looking at him, he made sure he was running in a position that if the guy looks like this, you won't see him. If you look like this, you won't see him. So when
Yeah.
the guy saw him at the last point, it was too late. Trossard's cross was already incoming.
No, his movement. I think I will say this categorically, right? I know it's typical of an Arsenal fan to get emotional at this point, but his movement, if you ask me, this has been his best movement since he came in the attack position. Like
Yeah. So
it,
far,
so far so
that's
good, oh. So
yeah,
so far so good. Like honestly, I know we missed Kai today, right?
yeah,
And I would say we missed Kai even from a high press and also a work rate point of view.
yeah.
But most essentially, one of the things I'm seeing that Merino brought in was clinicality that even a Kai in this
We
team
will miss.
today,
Kai will miss that second goal.
that second goal, Kai can miss it. That first goal, Kai can actually miss it. That header. That head. No, but
Guy.
if you watch it from the cam that is behind the post cam and saw how Merino put that in that angle.
Yeah, he was
But
unmarked though. He was unmarked. So my own is that
he was
it's
on
not.
mark. But let me tell you what a Kai will do. I'm sorry,
Kai will
I'm
not
one
be
of
in
those
that
guys.
position. Kai will not be in
Kai
that position.
Kai might not. No, Kai might be in that position. But if
Yeah.
he's in that position, Kai will head it back to the keeper. You will head it back to the keeper. No. If you recall
True.
clearly, he has had those occasions
No,
on
very
many
true, very true,
accounts
very true,
where he
very true.
actually heads the ball to the keeper.
Newcastle, Manchester United, yeah.
So
Even that second goal, yeah, why I'm sure that Kai will not be in that position. Kai would run towards the ball and try and, the space that Kai would accommodate would be in the front, in the near post, rather than the far post. And that is what makes you feel like Kai is not the typical nine.
nine.
That typical striker that is just a fox in the box, right? That is not Kai. He's just a Swiss knife of an all-rounder footballer. He's a fantastic footballer, but he's not a good. He's just
Yeah.
he's just like bang average as a striker.
We are in a critical state, and in as much as we know Merino can step in to do a job, I feel we'll still need so much from the midfield in terms of work rate. Where now I would have to give credit to a man like Rice who did
Partey. Partey had
above
some
and
loose
beyond.
passes, yeah. He had some loose passes,
Yeah,
but bro, Partey tried today.
yeah, but no, Partey tried, but I would still say this wouldn't classify as one of his better games. This
Of course,
is
of course, of course,
the
of
clutch
course.
moment that we spoke about that Miles Lewis Kelly had was as a result of his
Was because
error.
of Thomas's bad pass.
I'm like, what kind of pass?
I closed
Okay,
my
so
eye.
it was,
Immediately I saw that pass, I closed my eye. I was like, no.
yeah, he was in a rhythm, right? But he missed.
He missed it, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, maybe the Ghana boy connection with all these Banku boys. And
Ah!
yeah, my brother, the run. I'm like, okay, nah, there's nothing can happen. And bro, I was actually waiting for our net to bulge
I was
because
scared. I was even
if
scared that
not for Miles at
I was
that
even
point, that
scared that Partey will even pull a hamstring. The way I saw him run when he was running back, I was like, I beg.
did you see that Timber did not run? Timber was just
Ah,
taking his time to go back
I
because
was
I'm
like,
like,
I
if you
beg,
run for that, you
I
bust your
beg,
hamstring.
I beg, I
We're
beg.
at that point. We're at that point.
We can't lose any player again. But
We can't. But you know where I see we are right now, and one of the things that kind of like calms me down is a couple of years back. What we're experiencing right now in attack is what we're experiencing in defense, where we're losing a lot of players and our season basically went to the hole. Right
mhm.
now, we spent so much time, so much work in consolidating that. Hence, today, when I look at our bench, if you look at the bench, really, we had
we had
70% defenders.
we had good defense. I mean, I'm telling you, even in the summer, if we don't need to buy a defender.
No. Even the whole talk of
Left
Zubimendi,
back.
right? I know you're a fan of Zubimendi, but honestly, I don't want to hear so much of midfielders at this point.
No,
If
no,
you
no.
ask me,
We need
I,
midfielders.
I know we need midfielders,
Because
but
Jorginho will go.
so if Jorginho goes, right?
Yeah,
If Jorginho goes, if you look at the list of midfielders we have,
yeah.
we are still not at that crucial point where we are going to be contemplating. No, we are not there now as far as attack is concerned. As far as
So
attack is concerned, our number one priority is to get a central striker.
yes, I
Number
agree
two
with you.
priority is to get wide players,
For
especially on that left. Somebody that will tension Martinelli.
100%. To me, I even think we should even get 3 attackers. Not because of like 3 of them will start. I think if anything, now we need one marquee striker that would be our okay. This one. Then we need somebody that will rival or take over Martinelli's position and make Martinelli our option on the bench for the left
Yeah,
wing, right? Trossard might leave as well, right? Because he's not signing an extended contract. So in terms of numbers on that left, we need somebody. Then I'm telling you, we need either to promote more academy players or buy more prospects or buy more prospects where they can also, it's not as if we would start looking for replacements or contingency plan when we need. We can start building those contingency plans and start integrating them in a way that you would have more options, you would have better load management for your stars, and development of players in terms of succession plans will be easy. It will just be as if you won't even know when you're losing one and another one has already gotten there. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's where we need to start building up in the attack right now, from the attacking side of the midfield upwards. From the attacking side of the midfield
Yeah, yeah. So
upwards.
that's why the whole clamor of a Zubimendi is still kind of like giving me like, okay, where I feel we need deputization in that midfield is for Odegaard's role. And if we are clamoring on Zubimendi, I know Zubimendi is a creative player, but a deep line creative player, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need someone in that 10 role that actually gives us goal threats,
Yeah.
which Odegaard really isn't presenting for us.
Yeah.
So I feel that is a major topic to even address in the midfield before you
Mm-hmm.
talk about players that would actually play.
So the reason why I am mentioning Zubimendi is because of what I said, that we don't want to have the need before we replace. So in terms of like, if we lose a Jorginho now, Zubimendi to me is still an attacking, not really an attacking player that, oh, he's coming to give us goals, but he's coming to make sure that Rice and his workforce stays up front. Because if we don't have like a replacement for Jorginho, that means in the four, we would only be left with Partey and Rice. And we
Yeah,
have seen now that Rice in the four rather than the six, he's like, we are losing goals and attacking threats in terms of when Rice plays as a defensive midfielder. So that's why I'm saying that Zubimendi coming in allows us the opportunity to keep Rice in that up front. Because again, if we don't, that means we'll not start looking for a deputy for Merino as a six, which we know that we are not there yet, or Merino is not there yet. So I agree with you. Priority, because me, as far as I'm concerned, maybe like we have a gentleman agreement with Zubimendi for that defensive side. But like going forward, I actually wanted a player like Mamouche for
oof.
that Odegaard role. In
You see,
terms of like, so that when we are pressing, it is a 4-4-2, like a Mamouche and somebody. So I'm telling you, it's not because of that he's in Man City now that I'm raking over him. When he was in Frankfurt, when he was still in the Bundesliga, I was like, yo, this is who we need. He's almost like Alvarez, the Julian Alvarez of
yeah,
Argentina. He's like that more creative type of Odegaard.
yeah. And another player I looked at, Florian Wirtz from
I'm telling you, there's
uh,
with Julian Brandt from in Dortmund as well.
Dortmund. Yeah,
Those are guys that I feel like, more, if Odegaard doesn't step up, in
he
fact,
needs a challenge. He needs
he
that
needs
kind
a
of challenge.
challenge. He needs a challenge. It's not because
Yeah,
like he's a bad player, but you need that challenge to. In fact, in training, your quality will improve.
he needs that challenge. One, two. We've experienced a situation this season that should teach everyone from management top to bottom that when someone like Odegaard is out, you need
We are messed up.
we are gone.
We
So
are
you
gone.
cannot be totally dependent on that player.
Hmm.
So we have to have those options to challenge him and also to step in if he's unavailable.
Yeah, because
So
in fact, that right wing deputy now, I mean, we don't need to.
no, it's
We are good. We are
it's
good.
there's no debate
We
on
are
that.
good. We
We
are
have
good.
the depth and we have the quality to a point where you feel there are some games that you even start Ethan over a Saka. If
That I'm telling you, there are some games. Even if Saka comes back now,
no, calm down, no. Relax, please. I
what?
know. See, we need to preserve that boy. There's no question to Ethan, right? But I won't even say it from a point of he needs to learn. No. He's actually just,
Then
we
what?
need
He
to
just
just
needs to
unveil him
play.
more.
Just play. Just
Just
play.
play. It's
Just
just
play.
that they need to manage his minutes as well, right?
Yeah.
He has everything it takes. He's a solid professional.
Mm-hmm.
But Saka is still world class.
Of course.
And all we need now in this team is a trophy to, cement it that these guys are world class ballers.
Do you
Right?
still think we can win a trophy this year?
I'm off it from a realistic point of view, right? All I want right now from a very realistic point of view is for us to compete all through to the end of the season, right? Compete in the sense that we are putting pressure on Liverpool, right? Last season we got to March and Liverpool, they were still 7 points ahead at the beginning of March last season. Now this season I'm seeing it play out the same way. However, the disaster we've experienced in terms of injuries and how thin the squad is kind of like depletes my confidence in the sense that we might not be able to push and get it over the line.
Yes.
But we have the capacity to hold it to the end, which gives us a chance to fall on, Lady Luck side, in the sense that something might happen and at the end of the day, maybe we play a game with Liverpool and we actually beat them at Anfield, which is a wild dream. But it's a possibility.
So when you said capacity, so I feel
capacity in the sense that right now we have between now, right, and the end of March to scrape through games, and those games we have to scrape through are winnable games, right? Now at the end of March we're expecting Martinelli to get back, right? With Martinelli back, we still have some options. Like, okay, now we know that he can step in, Trossard can come in and be a super sub that we know him to be. We know that, he can actually go on the right and, manage Ethan's minutes. But we know for a fact that Merino is probably going to be that option striking. No. I'm just from a realistic point of view. Sterling has no business starting a game. The only game Sterling should come in for is a game that we've won, and he can come in for the last 15 minutes.
I'm even looking at other players that can even play auxiliary striker self. Saliba started off his career as a striker. But obviously, I wouldn't move Saliba away from the defense. But Calafiori is also, I don't know how. But in terms of, I'm just saying, why I mentioned Declan is a good option for me in terms of like that physicality and intelligence of positions, and you can strike the ball if the opportunity comes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just play the football. So those are the players I'm looking like. Declan or Merino might be players that we might see in that position throughout the run.
Yeah, I think overall, right? Goals have to come from everywhere possible.
It has to at this point.
At this point, goals have to come everywhere possible. And one of the confidence boosters I have right now is Arteta's ability to make the most of what he currently has. Right? There is this thing I'm now seeing about Arsenal is when we are pushed to the wall, when we have our backs up against the wall, our innovation steps up, right?
Yeah.
And we saw that even when Odegaard went down, we actually went into some games and we put up a good fight. For instance, the City game, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing that happening. And if we can hold it off till the beginning of April, right? In this same position, anything can happen. Yeah. Anything can happen. Because Liverpool too, on their own run, they have a couple of games coming up which are not easy games.
Obviously. And they seem to be, hitting things are getting rockier, let me say, for them. But also
the game against Everton kind of like exposed some things to me, and I feel like
absolutely.
Anything can happen.
And we've been saying it that yes, that dominating way that City crushed teams, we're not seeing it like really, really from Liverpool. But what I also wanted to say was like because of just collaborate with what you said, because of the tough situation that we find ourselves, we have seen over the last 2 years that this team has the character to push to the end.
Yeah, at least we said that last season.
they have the skill to push, and that's why I feel that a tough situation doesn't wouldn't displace us too much.
Yeah,
Rather, it would demand that tough character from the players. And that's what I feel is giving me a little bit of hope that, oh, okay, now these players know that we have to grind and they won't take it lightly. And
yeah. We
Arteta will also know that, yes, he has to like come up with his A game tactically and
yeah.
to pull up the result from situation. So I feel that's what is going to be a shining light in all of this gloom to push us an extra notch in towards the title race.
Yeah, yeah. You know, in as much as a lot of people have this, doom and gloom, atmosphere right now surrounding the Arsenal, we
Mm-hmm.
have to give credit to where credit is due. The fact that we are challenging at this point in
Mm-hmm.
the season with the amount of depletion that we have to the squad is commendable,
Full
right?
of
And all that is left for us now is to focus on each game as it comes. On each game as it comes. The next game coming up is West Ham. I believe we can do a job at home against West Ham.
yeah.
We just need to stay on track. As far as defense is concerned, I feel that's what we have right now that can actually spine us through this season because
Yeah.
we should be hard to score against.
There are some games that I know that we're going to play super negative football. When I mean like negative football, we might even play those games without a striker per se. Like we will just play some negative Jericho style of low block.
Yeah, and what I was even expecting from this game, best case scenario I was expecting actually from this game was for us to push Leicester back to the point where they want to play a low block,
Mm-hmm.
which would actually help the kind of attackers that we have, except for a Sterling. But yes, now all those intricate passes that happen
Want
around the
to
box,
enter space.
yes, Ethan thrives in those kind of
Ethan
situations
Giddy,
because he can
Martinelli,
release
Trossard.
his left. You
Ah.
get. So that didn't happen, and I'm like, okay, this is an open game. They are coming at us, and we're coming at them. But in games like West Ham, they would rather want to sit back, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't mind. I don't mind a Merino starting in that game as well,
Mm-hmm.
where
Of
we can
course.
actually whip in some good crosses.
Crosses. They have top players as well.
Yeah, and we need that physical presence
Yeah.
there to challenge them. But at the same time, I believe we can get the job done, right? My overall rating, if I'm going to say, it's going to be an 8 over 10. 8 simply because we had 80% of that game
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not worth talking about, right? But it came in clutch, the substitution,
Yeah.
right? So I'm just going to share, as an overall rating for the team, I'll say 8. What will be overall rating for the team?
Um. To me, I wouldn't be that generous. I'll still put it as a 7
Okay.
because if not, there are some individuals that deserve definitely more than 7. Even
Yeah.
the manager also deserves more than that, But generally, I feel it didn't look like we were going to score. Aside from the threat from Waneri, it didn't look like there was something that was going to happen, you know. But this is where Arteta's having more than 7 will come in. We looked at it and everybody knew that because of how we are playing, man, we need that body, we need that physicality up front, and his Arteta's in-game management was on point there, and that happened. So generally a 7, but the people that will give more than a 7 will be the defenders. Everybody was on point. The defenders
Yeah.
all deserve an 8.
Timber was fantastic in the second
Timber
half.
was
The
fantastic. Lewis
driving,
Kelly was
fantastic.
fantastic. Aerially, Waneri definitely. I'll give him an 8.5 because he was our
Yeah,
only.
yeah.
He was our
The only
only.
thing
Yeah,
that didn't happen for him in this game was the goal. He struck
yeah.
the bar
He was. He assisted. He
like,
gave a nice sweet cross. His corners were
yeah.
on point. I'm actually putting Waneri in my fantasy team now because he's going to be someone that we're going
He's
to be
going to
backing.
start. He's definitely
Yeah,
going
it's
to
going
start, and he will
definitely he's going
produce.
to start.
He will
So,
produce.
but people that I felt that were underwhelming for me, obviously Sterling and
Number one on that list.
First half Odegaard as well. It was later on that he came up into the game. Trossard until he went to the left. So
Yeah.
I might still blame Sterling for that as well, you know. So then
Even a
Partey,
party, I have to
yeah,
like a party, I
Uncle
would say he
Uncle
was
was
not
not as on point as he has been in the past few
a lot of
games, but
misplaced passes. Yeah.
yeah, but you know, he misplaced passes that put us in dangerous positions as well, and his transition was kind of like slow, but all well and good. Where it was I would take the win. Like it was a big win. It was a huge win, and is a morale booster for the team, especially because of the situation we find ourselves. And hopefully, Merino will find more goals for us, and Ateta will
Yeah.
just find
This
everybody
is
just start kicking goals
his first brace
in 9 years.
in top flight leagues in Europe, right?
Yeah,
And it actually is very good for his confidence, right?
yeah,
And we're at that stage in the seasons that we need confidence up top. We need that confidence
absolutely,
up top, and he can
absolutely,
ride on this wave. Um,
absolutely.
I didn't see it coming. If you ask me, I thought that yes, he would do a good job, hold up play probably,
When I
but
when the sorry when the reports broke out that Merino might play, you know, striker, I was like, what does
yeah,
what does Arteta have for us? But so far so good. So far so good.
I'm 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 okay with it. I'm okay with it. We can manage. We can manage.
Okay.
Ole 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 ola ole 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 ola.